You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Today, this breakfast isn't just breakfast. It might be the first McDonald's breakfast you're having at McDonald's again. This lunch might be a weekly tradition you hadn't had in weeks. And this dinner might be the first one you bought for not just you in a while. Whatever this order is for you, McDonald's will be here to take it.
Get more of the chicken you love with a delicious McChicken sandwich for $1. And for an extra buck, add a refreshing Dr. Pepper. Dining rooms are starting to reopen in certain communities at participating McDonald's. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
In uncertain times, we could use someone to lean on. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma will stand by you with plan options to fit your budget. If you've recently lost your job, had a baby, or moved, you can still get the healthcare coverage you and your family need. Financial help may be available for those who qualify. Call 855-452-BLUE or visit hereforyouok.com to see if you're eligible to enroll. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma, a division of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
A new year means it's time for a new home network that can keep up. With Cox Internet, you have the speed and coverage your family needs to stay connected. You'll enjoy Cox's fiber-based hybrid network with options for fast upload and download speeds. And if your household has lots of connected devices, Panoramic Wi-Fi may be the perfect fit thanks to its additional control features. Plus, with advanced security on Panoramic Wi-Fi, you'll know each connected device is securely protected 24/7. A whole world of connectivity is yours with Cox Internet. Learn more at Cox.com.
What a strange little year we've had. It is almost the end of 2023. Do you realize it's just a few more days until Christmas? I finished my Christmas shopping at the 15th, the 13th of December maybe. They're not wrapped. They're all sitting in a pile behind me as I'm speaking right now. But, hey, first things first, okay? I'm proud of myself. Don't judge. Welcome to Sunday Night with Alan Ray. I am your humble host, Alan Ray. If you're lurking about the interwebs and you happen to stumble upon this show, get in the chat room at www.klrnradio.com. And if you're not there already, why not? Jeff just had a heck of a show. How can you not have a great show talking about the Mongolians? I mean, come on. We're throat singing in here. Rah, rah, rah. Anyways, I am your humble host, Alan Ray. We have in chat room, we got GR, we got Jeff, who you just heard, we got Artie, we got myself, we got Eric. I think Evo and Stacy might just be ghosts. And of course, we got Raptor. All the usual gang is hanging out. Where are you? So, hey, we're going to talk about Christmas. We're going to talk about the end of the year, and we're going to talk about stupid predictions for 2024. But first, let's get in the Christmas spirit with yours truly, Alan Ray. Every Christmas, I look more like Santa Claus.
The weather's getting colder, and the days are getting shorter. And in the town, the snow, it starts to fall. Well, I just looked in the mirror, and I made an observation. Every Christmas, I look more like Santa Claus. Now, I might be mistaken, but the way my body's aching, I'm thinking that old age has come to call. My hair is getting thinner, and I think I may be shrinking. Every Christmas I look more like Santa Claus. When I walk in, the shoppers take a pause, 'cause they've seen my face before on TV and in the stores. Every Christmas I look more like Santa Claus. Now I don't have a reindeer or a shiny open sleigh, and I won't slide down your chimney once a year. Through your city in my rusted Chevrolet, the way I look will spread some Christmas cheer. Well, they tell me youth is fleeting and my hairline is receding, and I need to watch my eating just because my belly's getting bigger and my beard is getting wider. Every Christmas I look more like Santa Claus. Every Christmas I look more like Santa Claus. Every Christmas I look more like Santa Claus.
Merry Christmas.
That's right. Little Brielle says Merry Christmas. You know, I like that song. You know, I don't, it's shameless self-promotion, but I had a blast recording and playing that song. I've got 2 songs coming up. I'm going to try to get most of them done during Christmas break. I don't know how that's going to go. They're not Christmas songs. They're just regular songs. I kind of like them. And if nobody else listens to them, I have fun recording them. And, you know, maybe someday, I don't know, 500 years from now, they'll dig all my crap up and think I used to be famous or something. That's going to be like a time bomb joke 500 years into the future. Anyways, I'm Alan Ray. Welcome back. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Yes, we do. Number one, I don't know. It's the end of the world. Detroit Lions are 10-4. Do you realize? I want you to stop and consider this for a minute. The Lions have 2 more games, okay? They got the Vikings on the 24th. They got the Cowboys on the 30th. If they win either one of those games, they will have captured their division. They're going to the playoffs. If Green Bay or the Vikings lose any one of their last games, Lions clinch their division. This has global implications, okay? Not even kidding you. Lions literally took it to Denver Broncos yesterday. Kind of a weird 8 o'clock Saturday game, but 42-17, they absolutely smoked the Denver Broncos. After losing to Chicago last week was kind of an embarrassment. I was thinking, oh, look, the old Lions are back. Now, I don't know how far this insanity is going to go. But as Jeff pointed out in his show earlier, it's a harbinger of things to come. It's doom. I don't know.
Doom!
We're not used to winning Lions, okay? We're not used to it. It scares me. It's frightening. Now, let's stay on the subject of sports ball for just a minute before we get into the meat of everything. On the opposite end of the entire spectrum, now you got to understand that Detroit Ford Field has been absolutely sold out. I mean, you can't wedge another butt into them seats when they're playing at home. I haven't seen people this excited about a Michigan sports ball team since the 90s when the Red Wings were gearing up to win the Stanley Cup. And everybody, I don't care if you've never watched hockey in your entire life, everybody in this entire state was a Red Wings fan. You didn't even have to know what was going on. All you had to do was tune on the TV and just watch them, and you would get excited. And that's kind of the same excitement I feel that's building around the Lions. Everybody keeps expecting them to fall on their face, and they'll stumble a little bit, and then they bounce right back. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have the Carolina Panthers. Have you seen this? Have you seen their stadium? Guys in chat, did you see pictures of this? This is sad. This is pathetic. I don't hate the Carolina Panthers. I mean, used to be when they were on, I'd sit there and watch them because, I mean, you know, they just had cool uniforms and stuff. Mike, yes, the Red Wings have been horrible of late. However, they've actually started to make a bit of a comeback. They've taken on some people that might help them improve. Raptor, I did not know that. I went to a lot of those games too. You and I might have even met and not even known it. And it was funny because when Darren McCarty scored that big goal, I was actually at a Detroit Tigers game. Oh, my. Such weirdness. Anyways, Carolina Panthers have arguably the dimmest future in the NFL. After trading away several draft picks and their star wide receiver in order to draft quarterback Bryce Young first overall, Panthers fan had hoped that Young could take the team to the top of the lackluster NFC South. That has not happened. Now, the NFC South sucks. They're bad. They're horrible, okay? Nobody in the NFC South is very good now. And this is according to USA Today. It says with just 4 weeks to go in the regular season, the Panthers sit at NFL's worst 1-12 heading into Sunday's game against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I don't even know how they did today. I don't care. It says they don't have their first-round pick next year. They don't have many stars to build around. They fired their head coach halfway through the season. Despite playing in a division that will likely send a sub-500 team to the playoffs. Get that, sub-500 team into the playoffs. They were the first team in the NFL to be eliminated from the playoff contention. They're already done. They're toast. They're history. They don't exist in the playoffs. Fans are getting fed up with the absolute incompetence shown from owner David Tepper, and today fans showed their disapproval by not showing up. I'm looking at pictures of this. The capacity of the Bank America Stadium where they play is 74,867. It looks like there might be 5,000 people in that entire stadium. I mean, it's sad. It's really, really sad. This was you know, if you're as old as I am, you go back to the Oilers, the Houston Oilers game when they sold and they said they were going to move to Tennessee, and everybody protested them by just not showing up to games, and it was ridiculous to look at the stadium. That stadium looks like COVID was still on. Remember when they were like, you know, during COVID, they were playing football and they were piping in crowd noise to make it sound like there was crowds there, but there was nobody. That was creepy. That was the creepiest thing in the world. Just let it be quiet. I hated that. You know, there wasn't much else to do. I would tune into a game and there's nobody in the stands and you'd hear this, and it's like, why are you doing that? There's nobody in the stands. Who are you trying to fool? Who are you trying to kid? You trying to psych up the teams? Did they? Carolina, okay, Mike in chat says Carolina beat Atlanta today by a field goal. That means absolutely nothing. They're still out of the playoffs. They have nothing. It's horrible. But the whole thing about it is, now this is the Detroit Lions syndrome, okay? Detroit Lions would make sure that they were completely out of the playoffs, and then they would beat every team that was on the brink of going to the playoffs. They would beat every one of them, and they would screw up their entire seasons. That's just what the Lions have been noted for years. And now the Lions are sitting at 10-4. I almost don't know what to think of all this. Did they? Okay, Mike says Tennessee dressed in the old Oilers uniform today. So there's your sports ball report. Of course, we're heading into Christmas weekend. And for the next several days, there's going to be butt tons of bowls. Brad Slager, I forget which show Brad's went into, but they talked about all of the bowls. And there's just tons of them. I don't know. They're stupid. The names of them are stupid. They went over them all. It was giving me a good laugh. I got to bring that back up and just listen to it again because I was listening to it at work and it was cracking me up. And yes, Mike's rooting for the Lions to make it. And here's my thought. And I've said this before on the show. If the Lions somehow weirdly make it to the Super Bowl, which they have a chance, they're good enough. They got the coach. They can do it. Even if they don't win the Super Bowl, I could die a fulfilled human being just knowing that they went to the Super Bowl one time in my life. Okay, we've already got the Tigers winning the pennant. That was back in 1984. Where was I? I was in Nashville, Tennessee. I had nothing to do with Michigan that year. Maybe I should go back to Nashville and spend a year or two. I don't know. Space news. We'll get all the fluffy stuff out of the way. We just got hit by the biggest solar flare in years, and it temporarily screwed up all the radio signals on the planet. It was crazy. And this is coming from the Associated Press as of yesterday. It says NASA telescope has captured the biggest solar flare in years, which temporarily knocked out all radio communications on Earth. The sun spit out a huge flare along with a massive radio burst on Thursday, causing 2 hours of radio interference in parts of the U.S. and other sunlit parts of the world. Scientists at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration said it was the biggest flare since 2017, and the radio burst was extensive, affecting even the higher frequencies. Okay, when you start getting things into the higher frequencies, when you start getting things into your 2 meter, your 70 centimeter, your cell phone range, stuff like that, it's bad. Oh, and Eric in chat, I'll tell you what, my wife is a huge Niners fan, and the Niners are kicking butt this year. Not even kidding. But that's okay. And Mike, you can go with your Eagles. That's fine. The Lions, God bless them. I hope they do great. I don't expect them to. Nobody in Michigan expects them to. But if they do great, bonus. Anyways, the combination resulted in one of the largest solar radio events ever recorded. Sean Dahl of NOAA's Space Weather Prediction Center said Friday, multiple pilots reported communication disruptions with the impact felt across the country, according to the Space Weather Forecasting Center. Scientists are now monitoring the sunspot region and analyzing for a possible outburst of plasma from the sun, also known as a coronal mass ejection. Now, if you listen to this show, if you tune into this show week after week after week, God bless you. I don't know what's wrong with your head, but thank you. The coronal mass ejection, the size of the Carrington event, hits Earth again. And I've been saying this for a long time now. It's not an if. It is a when the next Carrington event-size coronal mass ejection hits this planet. With all of our Chinese-made weak electronics, there could be, I'm not going to say there is going to be, there could be major problems. One of the big problems is if you've got something like sitting just to my left, okay, I've got a $1,000 Yaesu FT710 radio, HF band radio. Goes from, it's an HF radio. Goes all the way up to 6 meters and all the way down the frequencies. It's a very sensitive piece of equipment. It has a waterfall display. It has filters. It has all of these preamps, post-amps, all of these things that are very tiny electronics. It's got a whole bunch of everything built into a little bitty radio. It's a very good radio. I talk to people all over the planet with this little radio and a 132-foot wire sticking out of the top of my house across the back of the property. Now, if a coronal mass ejection happens, one the size of the Carrington event, that antenna, that long wire I've got strung out across the backyard, is going to act like any radio receiver on the planet acts like. It's going to receive the radiation coming off of that coronal mass ejection. That thing is going to heat up, static up, electrify, and it's going to fry this radio. Now, I do have a lightning protector on this radio, and I really, really hope that thing works well enough to short out if it gets hit by a CME and saves my radio. Because an antenna is pretty easy to build. But the problem is all of these nice, long electric lines we have strung out all over the planet that's carrying electricity to your house, those are going to act like giant receiving antennas for this giant CME if we get a Carrington type event again. And they're just going to fry electronics. All these cheap Chinese-made radios, microwaves, I don't know, you name it, televisions, computers are going to go up. You have to remember, back when the Carrington event happened, there were Morse code stations. There were stations out there, and the electronics were big, thick, just these giant, because they didn't know how to make microprocessors yet. These were big, giant coils with big, thick wires on them, and they were heavy duty. They were made to take, into the world stuff because they didn't know how else to make anything like that. And these stations caught on fire. Some of the telegraph stations they didn't even need electricity to make them go. They were just going by themselves because of the CME hitting the earth. That's how heavy it was. The Northern Lights, Aurora Borealis, could be seen as far as South America. It was that bright. That's a lot of damage to a lot of things. Now, I have backup radios. I have my radio that I use for Parks on the Air and emergencies. I'm soon to have another small radio, and we're going to put that baby through its paces. And I'm going to, 2024, that's my plan. I'm going to do a big show on basic communications and does a little 5-watt QRP rig from Xiegu, which my 20 watts is Xiegu as well. Those are little Chinese radios, but if it's not connected to anything, and it's in a box, and it's in a place that is relatively protected from, radiation. And I'm not talking about radiation that, makes your hair fall out. I'm talking about radiation like radio waves. It should be okay. Now, I do have radios that are in metal cans that, in fact, when I get that little Xiegu in, I'm probably going to put that in a metal can, make me an end-of-the-world setup out of it. I'm either going to do that or I'm going to wrap it up in a Faraday bag and put it in a little case and make it where I can run around with a backpack and be able to set up and actually do radio communications on the go, on the run. We're going to find out how it goes. And we'll get into the whole backpack thing a little bit. But I'm just saying, we are heading towards solar. We're not at solar max quite yet. We're getting there. Supposed to hit in 2024. They thought originally it was going to be 2025, but they're thinking now that 2024 is going to be it. Hang on to your butts, guys. We could see some pretty serious crap coming up in 2024. Speaking of 2024, and I'm not going to get into this until next half hour. I've got stupid predictions. I've got things that happened in 2023, the things you should be aware of. But before we do that, we're going to probably finish out this next 5 minutes before we go into a commercial break with what I was talking about an end-of-the-world type backpack, okay? You've heard me talk about your bug-out bag. You've heard me, AJ, Anthony, and I have been on this show. We've talked about preparedness. We've talked about your bug-out bags, preparing your car for winter, preparing your car for summer. having a bug out bag in your vehicle, having a bug out bag in your house, where you can grab and go if things really get bad, and you can survive for up to 72 hours. Here's one thing, and shame on me, absolutely shame on me. I am in relatively good shape. If you know me, you know. Now, I'm not running much anymore. I need to start doing it again, but I've been walking. I've been walking fast. I just haven't been running, and it's showing because I'm starting to pack on weight. It's really bad, but that's okay. But one of my plans for 2024, and I've talked to some people who backpack regularly, who hike regularly, and they say nothing. It's just like playing basketball. Nothing prepares you for basketball like playing basketball. Nothing prepares you for having to walk 5 to 10 miles with a backpack on your back, like strapping a backpack on your back and walking with it. So I've fallen into this rabbit hole of rucksack training, backpack training. And that starts probably next week while I'm off for Christmas break. I'm going to be doing an actual workout that is both very calorie burning and very preparedness training for if you have to bug out, if you have to grab a backpack out of your car and walk 20 miles, and take a break during the day or something like that. And I got this cleverhiker.com from May 14th, 2022. It says, if you got your sights set on a difficult hike or an epic backpack trip, it's smart to prepare your body in the weeks and months leading up to do it by doing some training. When you're in tip-top shape, you can truly enjoy the experience instead of worrying about being sore and exhausted, which is what you don't want to be if the proverbial doo-doo hits the fan. The less exhausted and the less sore you are, the more prepared you are, the more you're going to survive. It's going to be in your head. Training can be a lot of fun. You can do it at home without spending a dime. And what they've got here, there's some pre-trip training things. In fact, I'm going to put this in chat. I'm going to put a link to this article if I'm capable. There's copy. There's paste. This is what I'm going to be going through. This is my goal for 2024. I'm going to get this ready. And a lot of it has to do with long-term health and fitness, a little bit of weightlifting, a little bit of walking training, starting a walking routine, which I already do some hill training, but add weight to your backpack, to your rucksack as you're going, and just keep like weightlifting, increase by 25%. Make use of your, put some water bottles in there, something like that, and start getting it where you can walk 5 to 10 miles easily with 25 to 30 pounds on your back, even in a busy schedule. So this is kind of what I'm going to be doing. And of course, it's got the weightlifting thing. You got squats, you got lunges. They got what they call mountain climbers, give you a burst of cardio to help you get your lungs and heart ready for backpacking. Let's see, what is it? Start in a high plank position with your hands directly under your shoulders on the floor and your legs extended behind you. Keep your body in a straight line and float your right knee up till you meet your chest or outer right elbow. Hold for a second, then return your foot to plank position. Repeat with your left knee using your core to keep everything tight. Repeat as fast as you can with control. You got step-ups, you got calf raises, heel dips. It's a lot of leg day training. Nobody likes leg day. Everybody hates leg day. And all you skinny little chickens out there, you can tell. I'm one of them. I hate leg day. I'll run 10 miles before I lift weights, but I've been back into weightlifting again. So if you have a backpack in your car, you have a bug out bag, and you're really worried about it, get yourself in shape. That's my plan. That's my goal coming up for 2024 is I'm going to get to the point, and I've got an excellent training ground, not more than probably 6 miles away. Don't skip leg day. And I haven't been. I've been so proud of myself lately. I've been doing leg day. But I've got an excellent training. If you remember a few years back, I ran a half marathon on a trail, and it kicked my butt. I mean, dudes, it kicked my butt. And that's where I plan on doing especially my weekend rucksack training. I can take the Wonder Dog Ava with me, and she'll love it. And we can attack them hills. We can go through the trails. We can, and you've got to have your balance. You've got to have hills. You got to go uphill, downhill, everything. And I plan on using that for rucksack training until I can walk 7 to 10 miles easily and not even feel that weight. Now, if you're a young dad, it comes kind of easily. I don't know about you, but especially my daughter. My daughter's place was on my shoulders constantly. Even when she got up to 25, 35 pounds, she was on my shoulders, and that's where she was, and we'd walk around, and I just never felt her on there. If I did that nowadays, I'd probably die. But, it's kind of scary because next year, 2024, is going to be my last year in my 50s. 2025, I'm going to turn 60 years old. That's kind of scary. I'm not really scared. No, I feel great. I look at other people my age who have spent their life overindulging, doing things horrible to their bodies. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I'm ready for 70, baby. Bring it on. Hey, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get into all the things I promised. The best and the worst of 2023 and stupid predictions for 2024. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, managing your medications from home is simple. With our easy-to-use prescription drug plans, you can get the medicine your doctor prescribes from your local pharmacy or even delivered by mail. For the trusted care you need and want, Blue Cross will be here with more convenient ways of getting it. Like we've been for more than 80 years. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senior options.
Hey, Randy, what you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. I'm just making a list of things that make me feel really, really good.
Wearing Bombas socks.
Trust me, that's number one on my list. Bombas socks feel so good because we use the smartest design and best materials, making them the most comfortable socks ever.
Plus, because socks are the number one most requested clothing item in homeless shelters, we donate a pair for every pair purchased, and that feels pretty good, too.
To shop Bombas or learn more about how your purchase supports those experiencing homelessness, go to bombas.com/comfy and get 20% off your first purchase.
If you prefer real mornings, shouldn't you have a real breakfast? At McDonald's, we get real about breakfast. That's why you can have a savory sausage biscuit with delicious hash browns for only $1.50. It's time to wake up breakfast. Single item at regular price. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Today, this breakfast isn't just breakfast. It might be the first McDonald's breakfast you're having at McDonald's again. This lunch might be a weekly tradition you hadn't had in weeks. And this dinner might be the first one you bought for not just you in a while. Whatever this order is for you, McDonald's will be here to take it.
Get more of the chicken you love with a delicious McChicken sandwich for $1. And for an extra buck, add a refreshing Dr. Pepper. Dining rooms are starting to reopen in certain communities at participating McDonald's. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
just never been tested. I'd like to think that if I was, I would pass. Look at the tested and think there before the grace go on. Might be a coward, I'm afraid of what I might find out. Never had to knock on wood, but I know someone who has, which makes me wonder if I could. It makes me wonder if I never had to knock on wood, and I'm glad I haven't yet, because I'm sure it isn't good. That's the impression that I get.
That's the impression I get.
Sure it isn't good, and I'm glad I haven't yet. That's the impression that I get.
That's the impression I get too. It is the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones welcoming us back to Sunday Night with Alan Ray. 2023, you know, I got to admit it wasn't a bad year. It really wasn't. I personally, for myself, for my clan, it wasn't really a bad year. It's ending kind of wonky for us. There's been a little bit of bad news, but overall, compared to 2022, 2021, 2020, it's been going all right. Knock on wood. I really don't have any much to complain about. This is just here out in the cornfields. Now, if you pan out and look at the United States of America and look at the world, it's been kind of a stupid year. It's just been kind of a stupid year. It started almost immediately last year on January 3rd when Kevin McCarthy failed to secure enough votes to be elected Speaker of the House. Remember all that debacle? Kevin McCarthy, he finally got elected after multiple days of negotiations and 15 rounds of voting. And things just got kind of crazy after that. There was the whole classified documents thing. The White House counsel confirms that several classified documents from President Joe Biden, time as vice president, were discovered last fall. Now, I'm getting these from CNN. CNN, believe it or not, CNN, of all of the places, all of the media, and CNN is questionable as far as media. They had a pretty good article about 2023 and the wrap-up of what we had this year. It wasn't bad. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. They went down the whole list. I'm not going to read everything, but it was pretty good. You had mass shootings, of course. 11 people on January 21st were killed in a mass shooting in a dance studio. And as much as they wanted to say it was white supremacy and it's the white man, they're the most dangerous thing in the world, no, it was an Asian American. January 24th, Vice President Mike Pence, another round of classified documents were at his home. What was up with all of those? You had Donald Trump had classified documents. I don't care about Tom Brady announcing his retirement. I don't. February 1st. Let's see. What else did you have? February 3rd, big one. Huge one. Norfolk Southern freight train carrying hazardous material derails in East Palestine, Ohio. An evacuation order is issued for the area within a mile radius of the train crash. The order is lifted on February 8th. Now, if you noticed, our wonderful president never, ever even acknowledged, he barely even acknowledged that wreck even existed, let alone went down there to see what he could do to help these people. But what was worse yet is the day before that, on February 2nd, defense officials announced that the United States is tracking a suspected Chinese high-altitude surveillance balloon. Remember the Chinese surveillance balloon flying over the United States? They didn't really want to tell you anything about it, but it was there. And then you found out that, the military tried to say, well, they were flying over during Donald Trump's presidency, too. And everybody went, wait, what? Are you saying this isn't the first spy balloon you've tracked over the United States? And the military goes, what did we just say? Whoops. No, that's not what we meant. That's not what we meant. No, it's no big deal. I'm sure it's no big deal. And then they come to find out, and this is later on, that the Chinese surveillance balloons basically caught all kinds of surveillance, did all kinds of surveillance, and reported all kinds of things about a bunch of our military bases. Compromised the United States. And only after these morons got caught did they do something about it. Now, they're trying to say back in February 2nd, the Pentagon was saying that the balloons didn't collect any intelligence. Well, now we know they did. What else we got here? Peyton Gendron, who killed 10 people in a racist mass shooting. Now, here's the difference, okay? The other mass shooting wasn't racist because it was an Asian guy. This one was racist because why? White people. Then you got President Biden on February 20th making a surprise trip to Kiev to make sure that all of his assets were still being, protected. Yeah, he's got a bunch of assets over there. February 23rd, Harvey Weinstein, whatever, already serving 23 years in prison, is sentenced in Los Angeles to an additional 16 years in prison for charges of rape and sexual assault. That scumbag is never getting out. He needs to die in prison. That's just basically what he needs to do. Oh, look, Andrew's in the house. Hello, Andrew. And then we bump up to March 2nd when the double murder trial of Alex Murdaugh finds him guilty of murdering his wife and son. You got, FDIC announces that Silicon Valley Bank was shut down. Remember March 10th? When the FDIC came out and said, oh, by the way, Silicon Valley Bank is going belly up and we got to do something to save it. The biggest bank collapse since Washington Mutual in 2008. Now, what else happened in 2008? Oh, I don't know. In 2008, we had one of the worst years ever. And it's really kind of bizarre. It's almost grotesque right now that they're trying so hard, so very hard to beat you into submission, to say that that the economy is booming, we're having a great year. Even though your eyes, your pocketbook, your bank account tells you no, we're not. That the economy is screwed every way but Friday. And then you turn around on March 27th, you had that 28-year-old LBGTQ-LMNOPQRSTUV person who shoots and kills 3 children and 3 adults at the Covenant School in Nashville. Remember that? They didn't want to tell you why. There's really no reason why they did that, and we're investigating it. Yeah, they had a whole manifesto, and they had that manifesto, and they hid it until some police released it. And then those cops they were just absolutely buried. They were the whipping posts. I mean, they just, nope, you can't do that. It came out that, yes, it was actually a hate crime against Christians. And they can't deny it now. Of course, you got Trump indictments, whatever. You got two Democratic members of the Tennessee House of Reps, Justin Jones and Justin Pearson, expelled, while a third member, Gloria Johnson, is spared in an ousting by Republican lawmakers. No, they were just being anti-constitutional commies is what they were doing. Yeah, 21-year-old, and this was a bizarre one. April 13th, 21-year-old Jack Teixeira, well, however you say his name, a member of the Massachusetts Air National Guard, is arrested by the FBI in connection with leaking of classified documents that have been posted online. And everybody on the planet went, how is a 21-year-old Air National Guard kid privy to classified documents that hold the future of our nation? Why is there a 21-year-old kid? Remember when everybody started asking that question? How quickly this story disappeared from the news? When everybody said, now, wait a minute. What's a 21-year-old? And it's Air National Guard. It's not even some high-level Army or Navy intelligence. It's a 21-year-old Air National Guard member with classified documents. How does that happen? And when everybody started asking that question, that story disappeared. Then, of course, April 25th, the moron in chief formally announced his bid for re-election. We're going to see how that goes. We're going to see how that one plays out. That's going to be interesting. And then May 2nd. This was the most devastating thing of the year. May 2nd. A day that will live in infamy. More than 11,000 members of the Writers Guild of America go on strike for the first time since 2007. And nobody cared. Let's see. May 9th. Manhattan federal jury finds Trump sexually abused former magazine columnist E. Jean Carroll. Whatever. Trump indicted. You know, it's going to be this year. All of the courts went after Donald Trump because they don't want him to run for president. But you're not supposed to think that this is some kind of an organized thing to keep him off the ballots. You're not supposed to think that. You're not supposed to think that this is coordinated. Guess what? It's coordinated. I'm not even a Trump fan. I'm looking at this gross, disgusting coordination to basically single out one person to keep them from power. And why? They're terrified of this guy. I have thoughts. June 16th, Robert Bowers, the gunman, killed 11 worshipers at Pittsburgh's Tree of Life Synagogue in 2018, is convicted by a federal jury on all 63 charges. He's sentenced to death on August 2nd. Why is he still alive? String that SOB up. Don't care about Samuel Alito. Oh, yeah, June 18th. That was a big one. A civilian submersible disappears with 5 people aboard while voyaging to the wreckage of the Titanic. That thing went, it was gone. Gone. You know, I've watched all kinds of videos on that, like a millisecond. Quicker than the brain can even react. Those people were toast. What else did you have? More Trump indictments. Over 100 people are killed and hundreds of others accounted for after wildfires engulf parts of Maui. Big one, August 8th. Bizarreness over that. And that story went away as fast as that submarine imploded. It says nearly 3,000 homes and businesses are destroyed or damaged, and we still don't have answers to a lot of questions. Although what is happening is what we figured would happen. All of that property is being force bought, and it's going to be purposed, recommissioned for a bunch of rich socialists. All you can do is hope a tsunami hits those people and just wipes them all out. And I don't mean death on anybody, but these people are gross. September 12th, House Speaker McCarthy announces he's calling on his committees to open a formal impeachment inquiry into President Biden. Of course, they're freaking out. Oh, this is some kind of a witch hunt. Blah, 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 blah. The same people that went after Trump are telling you this is a witch hunt, even though there's all kinds. And they're saying there's absolutely no evidence. Even though there's President Biden is on video saying himself that he basically did quid pro quo to get somebody fired. September 14th, Hunter Biden is indicted by a special counsel, David Weiss, in connection with a gun he purchased in 2018. The first time in U.S. history the Justice Department is charged with the child of a sitting president. Of course, he broke the law. He is a crackhead. He broke the law. He did everything that these people want to arrest you, if you even think about doing. September 28th, Dianne Feinstein kicks the bucket. September 29th, Las Vegas police confirmed Dwayne Keith Davis, Keffy J, was arrested for the 1996 murder of Tupac Shakur. October 3rd, that was a big one. McCarthy's removed as House Speaker following a 216 to 210 vote. And then after 3 weeks without a Speaker, the House votes to elect Mike Johnson of Louisiana. Boy, that sent the left into a frothy mouth rage. What else? Robert Card, a U.S. Army reservist, kills 18 people and injures 13 others in a shooting rampage in Lewiston, Maine on October 27th. After a 2-day manhunt, he's found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot. Now, and there you go. This went away after everybody on the right started saying, now, wait a minute. This guy basically threw up all the red flags. You had red flag laws in Maine. You were told that he was unsound and that you should do something about him, and you let him go. And the second everybody started asking questions, that story went away real quick. Because they don't want those kind of questions. They just want you to freak out and say, oh, take all the guns away. Please take our guns. We're law-abiding citizens. Please take our guns. We might shoot somebody. So then it goes up to, I don't know, nothing else was really that important until you get to November 19th when Rosalind Carter passed away at the age of 96. I do not agree with almost any of the Carter's presidencies, their policies or anything. Over the years, he got more and more socialist. Actually, when he was president, if he was president now, he would be like a Donald Trump style president. He was very anti-abortion. He was kind of conservative Democrat. There was conservative Democrats in the 70s and 80s. They considered Bill Clinton a conservative Democrat. All of those crimes that everybody talked about with the Clintons, when they came out with that paper showing all of their involvement in all the crime, that didn't come from the right. That come from socialist left-wing students who were trying to get Bill and Hillary Clinton out of the White House because they figured they were too centrist and they wanted to push everything as far left as possible. You have to wake up to that fact. And those people are now in charge. For the life of me, I can't figure out why a whole bunch of them want Hillary Clinton as president. Because they're the same people that basically wanted to yeet them out of the primaries back when Bill was running for president. Because he was a conservative Democrat. And that's 2023 in the wrap-up. Now, let's move on to the next, I don't know, it might go a little bit over. I don't care. Just for kicks. You know, I tried to find predictions for 2024. And everyone I found was about as stupid as the rest of them. So you know what I did? I just threw this out on Twitter. I threw this out on Twitter and said, hey, what are your ridiculous predictions of 2024? And boy, did I get the responses. And I'm going to bring them to you.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
Let's see. That Ray show. Ray's a pretty good guy. I've listened to his show a few times. He's pretty cool. Says, I predict we will see a return to relative normalcy. Peace and prosperity will return for much of the world. Don't stop believing. I don't think that's going to happen. I gave a special award, special trophy to this guy, John Hamblin. He says, I predict Gavin Newsom will flip Republican, balance the California budget, remove California's sanctuary state status, pass and sign constitutional carry, pay back the $18.5 billion he ripped off from the feds, and stop the bullet train construction and widen I-5. I don't know what this dude's smoking, but I would love to have a hit off of it, whatever it is. It would make me probably forget about my troubles. Arcan. ARQAHN says the MSN and the Uniparty will present evidence that Donald Trump is actually a shape-shifting extraterrestrial reptilian. He will get elected anyway and will prove that Hillary is actually a giant lizard and Biden is really a mannequin. I think he might be close. I think he's there. Codified likeness, Parker RM. Says Biden will have a stroke after the holiday and then Kamala Harris will not run. Gavin will, and he will nominate Michelle Obama as VP, or Biden has a stroke after the holidays and Kamala gets us into war and the Department of Defense basically takes control of institutes and implements digital ID tracking. I can see that. And then, of course, Jeff, who you heard right before me, he has a couple of them. Says, number one, first non-Jeff confirmed alien signal. Second, a major plane accident involving a sports team. And finally, Ordy Packard finally admits Finland is real. Ordy's in chat. Is that going to happen, Ordy? Or is he completely off base and ridiculous? Let's see. Calvin, Ultra Grateful Cal, who writes for Twitchy, Says, and I don't know who any of these people are. Angela and Damon get married, whoever that is. I know Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift starts dating Novak Djokovic and stops him from winning and protects Big Pharma. Harry and Chris announce their engagement. Elon and Giorgia Meloni team up to take over the world. Dawn of the new Roman Empire. I can deal with the new Roman Empire. Can you deal with the new? Orty says Libertarian Party finally runs a candidate that isn't a total retard with a freedom platform that speaks to nominees sick of terrible uniparty governance and wins the election. From your lips to God's ears, buddy. You want to see me turn into a libertarian real quick? I'm already halfway there. The problem is I'm maybe 3/4 of the way there. Government's small enough to drown in a bathtub if necessary, right, Orty? Kevin Bernard. Biden becomes incapacitated. Harris becomes embroiled in some scandal. Harris resigns. Newsom is made VP. Biden gets impeached. Biden resigns after pardoning Hunter. Newsom becomes president. DeSantis wins the Republican primary and wipes out Newsom in the general. God, I would love to see something like that happen. And our own Aggie Rican, the beautiful Aggie Rican, says the Visigoths return. Sees our political landscape. They go back. There's nothing left to destroy. That's probably the more accurate. And then Andrew Young, who was just in chat and jetted out of here, says the Republican nominee wins the election, but the Democrats declare the election results invalid and declare Biden remains president. The GOP leadership rolls over with nary a peep. The nominee and those who protest then move get thrown in jail. Oh, the nominee and those who protest the move get thrown in jail. Biden declares martial law. I can see that. I can see it. The problem is these are ridiculous. I said ridiculous. Okay. Biden declares martial law. He goes on. Dissolves Congress, suddenly resigns while anointing Newsom king of the U.S. I don't have a problem seeing that. The problem is that's kind of a scary, could be accurate prediction. You people scare me. Matthew Talsma says Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl on February 11th, 2024. Bookmark it. He's sold. He says we're going all the way. Wooden Wizard Timothy says, I predict the left will create problems all over the country, rioting, burning, building, protesting when they learn a Republican is elected president. Oh, man, could you see that? You know it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. If Ron DeSantis or whoever wins president, if a Republican wins president, it's right back to burning neighborhoods down. This time I hope whoever's president has the common sense to just call in the National Guard and clear them all out. However, Sharko Ramius, Red Febtober, says Politibunny will do at least 2 FUBAR shows and profess her love for the chat room. Not necessarily in that order. Ain't gonna happen. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture. Vince says, nope, I've been correct in most of my ridiculous predictions since 2020. Not doing it again. I don't blame him. Stay out of it. Now, here's a really good one. This guy put some thought into this and even put a picture in. This is Big Apple Phoenix. It says, after 3 major presidential candidates, Donald Trump, RFK Jr., and Kamala Harris, all fail to get 270 electoral votes, the election is thrown to the House of Representatives to pick among the 3. A mass seppuku event ensues in the U.S. Capitol. They all kill themselves and nobody's elected president. I love it. Morgan Reingelt, one of my favorites, fellow ham, says 1, a team from Pittsburgh will win a championship. 2, Elon releases the cyber unicycle. I could dig a cyber unicycle. 3, Hunter enters the priesthood. Hunter Biden enters the priesthood. That would be great. Sharko Ramius again says, Orty Packard will leave the Circle K stores for 7-Eleven and then mysteriously return for reasons unknown. Right-wing rock and roll guru says the D's October surprise is that Biden will drop out for insert reason here. So the R's will not have time to mount a proper counteroffensive when the D's anoint Hillary as their last-minute savior. These were supposed to be ridiculous, not probabilities. Rex says, I can't do it. No time. Going out to buy all the ammo. You'll have to guess my prediction. We can pretty much guess that, Rex. GR, who's in chat, says, I know better than to answer this. Whatever I say, if it comes true, will then be my fault. Yes, it will. And he says he's getting the 2024 Apocalypse bingo card ready. Yes, maybe that's why I'm doing this. I don't know. And then Kevin Bernard comes back and says, we win the lottery, his wife and him, and we give out money to all his friends. I quit slinging tater chips. We buy a beachfront property in Outer Banks. Kevin, buddy, remember, if you're listening to my show, you can always DM me and I'll give you my address. You can send that money. And of course, Andrew Young started it all out and says, can't be worse than it is right now, right? Oh, Lord. Rebecca Wings says, Cuba takes Puerto Rico. That's kind of scary. Stoic Introvert says, nations will rise against Israel and the U.S. will watch passively as Revelations begins to unfold. Guys, I said ridiculous, not probably going to happen. Because I could see that happening. Mary Xmas, let's see. Real Starman says aliens, proof. Phineas says Biden's reelected. E. Strobel says a return to normality. Guys, that's ridiculous. That's not going to happen. There is no normal anymore. Get over it. And then CC Gamer says world peace. See, it's not going to happen. That's ridiculous. Tech Rue 2024. Now, this is kind of scary. Tech, what have you been up to, dude? Says the helicopter finally found to come for me. The helicopter is finally found to come for me. My past is catching up. That's scary. What did you do, Tech? What did you do? Let's see. 8Man747 says, somebody start something in the South Atlantic to distract a population. See, guys, I said ridiculous, not probably going to come true, because I can see that coming true. That's coming true right now. We've reported it here on Sunday Night with Alan Ray several times. Amy says Murray State will have a decent football team. Yeah, no, not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. Mr. Nobody says white people will lose the right to vote. We will merge with Mexico and change our name to North Mexico. We will give New York to Ukraine as a gift. There's some, I'm not going to say there's zero chance of that happening. Fletcher S. Odd says, what's his name? Susnich says, guys like me suddenly become high value as tastes change. He must be a straight right-wing Christian conservative man. Because, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. Mr. Wizard says, aliens finally land. Listen to Kamala talk for 5 minutes and then say F it and leave, never to be seen again. Trump's ego, this is Rob Ruskowiak. He says, Trump's ego grows so big it explodes. And you could probably hear that boom from miles away. That's going to happen. I could see that. I mean, you got to admit, even if you vote for him, even if you love him, I mean, if he wins the primaries, I'm going to vote for him. I don't care. But I could see it. I mean, you got to admit, the man's got an ego the size of Texas. Chuck Fafo. I like that. Chuck Fafo. Nothing will change. It will be exactly here 1 year from now. Well, Chuck, you're just a Susie bummer, And then finally, Samantha the Bronx Bogota cat. Samantha. I'm going to have to follow Samantha because she says, alien population admits Earth is real and votes to eradicate it before the population spreads. I can see it. Blast the blue ghetto rock. Kill them all. Can't do it. And I don't get this one. This one's a latecomer. Graham Morrison. Jackson Hinkle and Syrian Girl. Now, I know who Syrian Girl is. If you've ever listened to Alex Jones, you know who Syrian Girl is. Jackson Hinkle and Syrian Girl share the Nobel Peace Prize. 2, Donald Trump transitions to Donna Trump and wins both the Democrat and Republican nominations. To get all the nominations, Donald Trump has a sex change. Then we got another late one. Justin Powell says, our military takes out entire infrastructures, leaving us all struggling to find food and water. This will take us out of the way while they solidify their new world regime. Justin, I don't want you to report things that could come true. I want you to report things that may be ridiculous. I can see that happening. I don't have a hard time seeing that happening. Seeing as our military is actually now going to be mostly illegal aliens. So there you have it. Those are the stupid predictions for 2024. Bookmark that. Find my my Twitter account at TwoCynicAl65. Bookmark that. Let's see how many of them come true. I got a feeling. Oh, Harry. Okay. Somebody asked Calvin who Harry and Chris are, and those are those two influencers, TikTok influencers, that are so over the top pro Biden, and they're very stupid. Okay, it all makes sense now. I'm old. What can I say? Guys, Merry Christmas. I am done for the year. I probably will not be back until the second week of January. I'm taking some time off. I'm going to be with family. I'm going to celebrate Christmas as one should. I am a Christian, so I celebrate the birth of Christ. Even though, yes, I know, well, it's not really his birthday. Yes, but that's okay. You can celebrate it. Be okay with celebrating it. I'm going to celebrate the New Year's. I'm going to welcome it in with a quiet evening. I doubt my wife and I are going to go out anything. I punched that fun card many, many years ago. It was years before my wife and I celebrated a New Year's Eve without a bass guitar between her and I, because I always played on New Year's Eve until the birth of my youngest son. Thank you so much for a great 2023. You know, every once in a while I get down and I say, man, maybe I should take a break from doing this show. No, I'm not going to, because once I get behind this mic, once I get going, I have a blast. And I hope you do too. I seriously hope you do too. And I hope you tell people about this show, invite them into the chat room, have some fun. Everybody have a good time. Get out there. Be an asset to your community. In the background, be prepared. 2024, guys, I'm not even kidding you. And I don't want to leave this show on a negative note. I'm not even kidding you. 2024 might get interesting. It's an election year, and we know that the left is going to do everything in their power to make sure that they stay in power. So just be prepared. Keep your head on a swivel. But one of the best things you can do to piss them all off is to enjoy your life. Get up every morning thankful to your very core for your existence, to love your fellow man, to be an asset to your community, to prepare yourself so no matter what the morons in Washington, D.C. do or say or cause, you're going to be all right, because you have built relationships, you have built community, you have built people that you can rely on, and you will get through whatever they throw at you together. The world may collapse in 2024, but you, my friends, if you just make the effort, will be okay. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. And God bless each and every one of you. Good night.